Hello, campers. Welcome to the next episode of Total Drama Podcast. It's been a year and a half since we did the first one, I think.
Yeah.
You guys did a podcast?
Of the first two seasons, and it was the three of us and Keyblade.
Yeah, that was actually on my channel, and I was actually planning on having this one on the Cloud Palace, and we can call it a ForeCast, to play off the name, or something like that.
That could work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, as most of you would probably guess, yeah, we're talking about the newest edition in the Total Drama series, which is the 2023 season.
Yep. Pretty much the soft reboot.
Yeah. Still, what
I
is
guess the first thing we should probably define is just how much of a reboot this new season is.
Yeah, because it is explicitly called a reboot within the season, and you don't really need any actual information of the previous seasons beyond one or two cameos involving Owen and Sean, but the stuff from the events still happened. It's still the same universe as the original few seasons and all.
Yeah, because when it was announced as a reboot, everyone was like, "Oh, are they gonna completely rewrite the story and shit, to where the previous characters didn't exist?" But I'm glad they didn't do that. It would hurt very much knowing that Ella never existed.
I guess the best way to describe it is that essentially think of it as a reboot in universe.
Yeah.
The show itself is rebooting in universe, but for us, the actual viewers, it's just a new season.
Yeah, I'm still wondering how Wawanakwa actually got back to the surface, because All Stars.
Honestly, I'm just going to assume that they found a completely new island in Muskoka, remodeled it, and boom.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how they could just salvage a whole sunken island. I mean, cartoon, so it's not a big deal either way, but still.
Oh, well, they just pulled it back up from underwater,
I think I like the idea of they just remodeled another island.
Yeah.
Just call it Camp Wawanakwa.
It would fit the theme of them rebooting.
It would.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think before we talk about the season and the new characters, we should probably talk about Chris and his new voice.
Yeah, I was very put off by the fact that they got the same guy who voiced Jonesy in 16 and Dawn in Redonkulous Race, because I had to really get used to it, but it was not an easy task.
Yeah, I think I got used to it quicker than most, since I watch Redonkulous Race religiously, but even still, yeah, and I think Terry McGowan does a fine job at all. It's just that it's not I'm not sure if it's if it's not fitting for Chris, or if Potenza's old voice is just too much of a staple of Chris's character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
we have gotten used to him over the course of 6 seasons.
Yeah.
6 seasons in Dramarama, if you want to count that.
Yeah, he appeared in one episode of Dramarama there.
It was just
Christian
always gonna
Potenza-
be
Christian Potenza was the voice for Chris for so long.
Yeah, regardless of regardless of what actually happened, I have heard rumors of different things, but I don't know the whole thing about why Potenza wasn't there. But at the very, but
it has something.
Yeah,
It has something to do with blackmail?
I have no idea. I'm not sure if blackmail. I heard some misconduct thing, but I don't know if it's actually about Potenza, let alone if he was guilty of it either way. But regardless, and for all we know, it legit might have not been a factor, and Potenza might just have been unable to record for the rest of the season. Who knows? But at the very least, though, well, obviously it's hard to get used to. I don't think McGowan did a bad job of voicing Chris.
Yeah, he's not a bad voice actor or anything. It's just I don't know. I've just grown so used to Chris's voice, and it's pretty much been a staple of his character. I don't know.
Yeah, basically, if it was literally anyone else, this would have the same problem.
Yeah. Also, another thing that was a new thing about regarding the hosts, Seth. Like, so first, not about the new voice actor, since that was a thing since Dramarama, and it's not nearly as jarring a difference. But Seth's role is greatly expanded on here in the reboot, where he's more or less full-on co-host with Chris now, like helping explain the roles of challenges more often, and during elimination ceremonies, he's the one who gives the reasons why they're on the chopping block.
Dude, I didn't even know Chef Hatchet had another voice. Like, because it fits so well. Like, it doesn't, like, that one's not nearly as jarring as fucking McGurran doing Chris.
Yeah, plus, like, if you watched Dramarama, like, there was already time to get used to it, because, like, I think, Seth's new voice actor started in Dramarama, I believe. But, yeah. Well, I definitely appreciate the Seth expansion. Something that was kind of weird, though, is how much, like, he's much more concerned about safety than Chris is, but it seems more for, like, a pragmatic sake rather than a moral sake, because apparently, according to the new voice actor, Devin Mack, Chris was promoted to being an executive producer alongside Chris, so he takes the job more seriously, and as such, like, takes more precautions about, the safety of challenges. Like, he's still not, and it's not like he's overly safe or anything. Of course, it's still challenges dangerous. It's just that compared to Chris, he comes off as that Mr. Safety when he's really just being logical.
Yeah, like, I'm glad they actually, like, gave Chef shit to do, because in All-Star and Pacateo, like, he had nothing to do except, like, in certain parts.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if he had lines in Pacatu, honestly.
Yeah, because, like, the only times I can remember, like, him speaking is the, like, first episode where they're falling out of the plane, and the one time he went to get Sean in that one episode.
And, like, the introduction to Sugo in the crappy pageant show.
Didn't he also have some lines during the episode where Scarlet went crazy?
I do not remember.
Yeah, like that's how forgettable, like, Chef is in Pacateo.
I do remember him having lines at Tofo's elimination where he was like, "Why did you even wear the fake beard and sunglasses? He couldn't see you," and because, like, it's getting into character. But God, I digress though. But yeah, I definitely appreciate Seth's expanded role here.
Yeah, like it's a nice change of pace.
Yeah. So, should we talk about the new cast now?
Yep.
Yeah, so.
Do we want to go in order? Or...
I guess let's go with the... Actually, I don't think I can actually remember the order when they came onto the island, so...
We can just do them in alphabetical order, it's fine.
I actually have the wiki open right now because I didn't know most of their names.
I'll admit I have a hard time remembering names in shows too, so I have the wiki open myself.
As a heads up, we will be getting into spoiler territory here, like, just in case you didn't have that feeling already, so yeah. So, let's start off with Axel.
I mean, kind of just another Eva, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, she even got eliminated
down to the point of being the second eliminated.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, like, I was expecting her to have a much bigger role than she actually did. Like, I wasn't, maybe not finalist, but I was at least thinking she would be in the merge.
Yeah, I was expecting quite a bit for it too, so it's kind of just weird to see her get outed, like, immediately.
To me, Axel was either going to be another Eva or another Joe. There was not going to be an in-between.
Yeah. Well, he also became another Sean. The whole zombie apocalypse paranoia.
Of course, but, like, with Sean, there was, like, a...
Yeah, like, he added on to more of his character, and, because Sean was...
It explained a lot of his motivations, it explained a lot of his actions, it actually, like, was an important part of his character, whereas Axel just kind of was like the boot camp girl, and the reason she was good at that was because of the zombies, and then that's it.
Yeah, like
So so that's why I said at the end of the day she was either going to be another Eva or another Joe, and she just wound up being another Eva. And Axel is really probably one of my least favorites, like thinking more about it, just because it's just more the same. Like, it doesn't feel unique.
Yeah.
I agreed. Like when I said like I was expecting her to make the most, like that was based off her design, what I'm referring to more so. But yeah, like within the show itself, like the only moment of hers I can think that made me think this is truly an actual moment, not an Eva, Joe, or Sean moment, is the whole hunting squirrels and demanding her team eat them thing. Like that's something that I like that stood out. Like how
that I guess was a little unique. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, other than that, like, it's more or less just what we've seen before, but, like, bossy, short-tempered, antisocial, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Moving on from one of the weakest characters to probably the best character in this season. Like, not my favorite, but I feel like technically wise, he's the best. My man, Bowie!
Yeah,
Bowie is so fucking good.
I was a bit skeptical at first because it's like, oh yeah, make the first openly gay character the antagonist. Yeah, that's a choice. But I think they played it pretty well. I mean,
yeah, he's
it's
a damn
still
good
a little
antagonist.
weird. It's still a little weird at the end of the day, but like, I don't know. I think they did him all right. Like he was fine. Definitely a fun character overall. Definitely a fun character overall.
See, like, I was a little bit worried that he would mostly just, like, he would pretty much just be the stereotype of, you know, overly sissy, like, gay best friend kind of guy. And, like, well, he's definitely camp, which is absolutely fine, but I like how there's more to it. Like, him being, like, more or less the secondary antagonist definitely added, like, a new interesting layer to him there. Genuinely, his introductory tape as well, of him just so casually showing his athletic capabilities without that being such a big deal of his character was also nice.
Yeah, it's like the thing with the cool thing with Bowie is that like they really did take like a lot of the best aspects to previous like antagonists and like did something interesting with it.
Yeah.
Cause like he's got a lot of that like the Alejandro conniving. He's very like I guess charismatic, kind of like Heather was, or I guess you could probably flip those around if you think those are not good descriptors.
Yeah, he's very prone to like bouts of over immersion like Courtney and Scott.
He's actually like, you know what? I know you guys have your feelings about Scarlet and what have you, and you're gonna attribute this to Scarlet and Sugar, but he's also like incredibly strategic.
Oh yeah.
In like what he does, so it's like it feels interesting seeing him go from point A to point B to point C to point D instead of just being kind of like, oh yeah, he's just trying to like throw all the challenges, or he's just trying to form an alliance. I mean, he does that often, but it's like it's not just trying to form an alliance for the sake of forming an alliance. You know, it feels like there's actually a strategy there.
And another thing, like, I feel like other than maybe Justin, Bowie is more like with a few times I feel like he's one of the villains who I feel would genuinely be a nice person and all without the competition thing, though. Because, like,
oh, for sure.
He manipulates, he backstabs, but he doesn't really cross any major lines, and he's still pretty patient, and he's pretty patient with Emma. He gets along. He never really judged Waj despite the very difference in their demeanors and all that. The worst thing he did do was we'll get to later, was breaking apart Pri and Millie's friendship, but again, like, that was more or less just for the competition's sake, and compared to, say, like, Heather, who does many needlessly petty stuff primarily to Gran, or Alejandro, who legitimately endangers people's lives on multiple occasions, like, And Courtney, who's like constantly bossy and bratty towards everyone, like Bowie is someone who's like one of those villains who you would legit want to hang out with in real life without the competition stuff.
I think one thing that really speaks about Bowie's character is in particular with his relationship with Waj. Because in one particular episode, Bowie just straight up tells Waj, let's not do this. I have a competition to win. Maybe afterwards we could go on a date. I think that honestly said a lot. Because he could have easily just betrayed Waj or do anything with him to go ahead. But he just be upfront with it. He wants to win.
Yeah, and also like his conflict with Julia is legit. Like I'll talk about more when we get to Julia, but like it is so much fun seeing Bowie and Julia bounce off each other, from their petty squabbles to their legit conflicts and scheming against each other to their alliances. Like those two are my favorite conflict this season.
Same.
So I guess moving on from Bowie, we're going to talk about, well, technically Caleb, but he only exists to show Bowie as a schemer, so should we just skip him?
Yeah, Caleb like is pretty much just like another Justin.
Yeah, he has like
even insult to Justin because he at least got 4 episodes in the first season. He got next to nothing for Caleb. Oh yeah, and action. We can't forget that.
And action.
Justin had action in the TDI specials to give him character. Caleb complains about his early elimination, which I mean is something, but that's it.
Also fair. It's also fair.
Yeah.
Cause like I don't.
Yeah, Caleb didn't do anything wrong, so like it's understandable. Like,
in fairness though, it's not like there was like a better character to get rid of that early.
Agreed.
Like it was kind of who else was there? It's not like there was any joke characters this season. Well, there was one or two. Well, I was about to say there's one or two, and we'll probably get over to those. But I don't feel like calling them joke. Even the joke characters, I don't really feel like it's fair to just call them joke characters because they had a purpose. So it really did just come down to someone's gotta go. Might as well be Pretty Boy over here.
Yeah.
But as always, next time for Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I wonder if he's gonna do more stuff in like the upcoming season, but like we'll get to that later.
So next up, Chase.
Oh boy.
I don't know whether I'm gonna get into this for him or for Emma.
Here's my thing. I don't know if this is a hot take in here. I think what they did with Chase is really good.
Fair.
Here's the thing. I don't like Chase. I think I think he's a character you're not supposed to like.
Agreed.
Okay, so then my bigger problem is gonna be with Emma. Then I'll wait then.
That's fair. Because like I had similar problems with like say in a Dauntless Race because like he consistently came off as someone who would be a bad partner, and despite the show warning me to root for him, Chase like to have much more annoyed by, but the show is well aware that Chase is a bad person. Like Chris and Julia are disgusted by his actions. Like I think it's a fair. Yeah. The show was
Chase is a character you're supposed to hate, which I think puts him above most of the other really bad romance partners. Because, like, if you look at someone like, for instance, Dave. Dave is a really good example. You're supposed to, they really, put up Dave as, like, this character that you're supposed to like before the switch turns and then he becomes a giant incel. Dave feels like a character that we're supposed to have liked at one point. Chase out the gate. No, you know who you're dealing with. Chase is like he is an influencer. He has a history with one of the other characters where he fucking rips the brakes out of her car. He's like irresponsible, fucking irrational. He can't take a hint. You know he's not good. So he's a character that you're supposed to love to hate. And honestly, dig that. honestly, we could have used more characters like this in previous Total Drama seasons.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a hot take. But it's a take I'm gonna hold dear to me.
I definitely agree with it, honestly.
I fully agree. I don't like Chase. He's not a bad character. Like, I just, for the most part, I find him annoying, and I don't really think he's that funny. Like, the stuff about the whole naming a star Chase's girlfriend and trying to getting Emma's name legally changed, that was funny. But for the most part, yeah, most of Chase's jokes just fell flat for me. I can't exactly fault the Riot for like him being like this selfish asshole, because that is 100% the point with him. What I don't like though is, and I guess we'll talk about this with Emma as well, Chase gets what he wants in the end despite learning nothing, which is like, yeah, no.
Yeah, so Lance, I'm gonna have regarding Emma, because God fucking damn it. But before we even get to her, we have to get to
Damien.
Yeah, Damien.
Yeah, Damien.
Justice for my boy Damien.
Yeah, no, he was my brother's favorite character, and he's probably in my top 6.
I think he's probably one of the better normal guy characters I've gotten.
Well, what is the competition? Trent?
Unfortunately,
yeah, no, you're not.
Fucking I can't have that Lance. I'm so disappointed about Trent. I'll leave it at that.
Oh yeah.
Trent was supposed to be the normal dude in the original, like even as far back as like the fucking beta trailer. Like if you ever sat down to watch that, Trent was supposed to be the normal dude.
Yeah, like everyone was supposed to hate him at first.
Boring.
Because of that, he was boring. He was so uninteresting. Damien takes the idea of the normal guy and actually puts him in the confines of Total Drama Island. So it's like, oh yeah, no, it's like I'm not supposed to be here. This is fucked up. And I think that makes for a really, really amazing dynamic. Because with Trent, it's like, oh yeah, he's supposed to be the normal dude, but like, he plays everything so straight. Like, it's like, oh yeah, he's a normal dude in the confines of Total Drama Island. Damien is a normal guy. Period. End of story. And I do really like that dynamic. Yeah. I thought that was a very fun characterization. And I was on the one hand, I rooted for him to get the fuck out of there, but on the other hand, I rooted for him to get towards the end.
He was, and the episode 5 also, like the 3rd episode, like mostly weak episode, but he was the best part of that. Like him legit, like overcoming like his like fears and like constant war about drama, using his scientific knowledge to save like half the team's lives, and then only for a cruel twist of irony when he's deciding he can take total drama, that's when he gets eliminated due to a misunderstanding with the rest of the team. But it was so fitting poetically.
Yeah, basically. There was no better way for him to just go out.
Yeah, like, honestly, his elimination was just like, ow. Like...
Yeah, but he's coming back. Obviously, he's coming back for the next season. Yeah. I cannot wait to see what awaits in Damien's future.
Yeah, Damien for Final 2 next season, man!
Yeah!
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, next up. Hey, Stag, you ready for that Emma rant?
Oh my god. Okay, so let me get this straight. The entire season, you're stressing over Chase for a very justifiable reason. Him cutting the brakes on your car. He could have literally killed you. You're justifiably mad. It's literally the only thing you really do until he's... Well, no, not even until he's eliminated. Even after that, you still talk about him a good amount because that's how you end up with your conflict with Bowie. And, like, and the way you're gonna try and justify getting back with him is always due to just you not paying attention to what he's saying. Like, I don't know, maybe if if Chase was just given a less dangerous fucking reason why Emma would break up with him. Like, if he didn't go that extreme, maybe I would be okay with her just being like, oh yeah, I still kind of like this guy. I still think he's a good person. But no, that never happens. We all know Chase is a fucking bad dude. And there's just something inside of your head when doing a challenge due to a hunger frenzy. He knocks over the other competitors so that you can win, which wasn't even for you.
It was for the pizza.
It was for the fucking pizza. But for some reason, due to Julia saying that she was knocked over because Chase was being a fucking idiot, Emma just for some reason thinks, I can't believe he did it for me.
Yeah.
Goy.
Yeah,
Why? Why do you even still want to be with him?
Yeah, she's like very clearly the weakest Emma in total drama.
I mean, there's two options.
Like, again, maybe if the reason they broke up was just less extreme, maybe I could just be okay with her just deciding, oh yeah, I could probably still see something in him. Maybe if Chase, even just a little bit, showed some sort of remorse for what he did, even just a tiny bit, maybe I could, at the very least, tolerate it. But no, Emma just looks like a fucking idiot.
It's a little bit, my thoughts with them, like, less extreme, but somewhat similar to Chase. Like, I think she is supposed to come off as shallow that way, though, because, like, everyone thinks like that whole entity being together is supposed to be a bad idea, and Emma has shown to be like pretty like she has had moments of being a relatively chill person without Chase, but like she's still shown to have selfish moments even without that. Like when MK said the whole, I thought you were going to donate half your rewards to pets, Emma was just mockingly said, I thought it was half, and how she did freaking like set up Priya, Millie, and Julia to be attacked by lions to give herself an advantage. Like, I feel like Emma is someone who don't think, obviously not to the same extent as Chase, but I don't think Emma is supposed to be someone we sympathize with.
Yeah, unfortunately, they do a worse job doing that with Emma though than Chase. Because with Chase, again, they make him like an irredeemable fuckwit. But with Emma, like, they do frame her in a more sympathetic light, especially since a lot of the earlier episodes kind of revolve around her hatred of Chase. So you do kind of, like, want to see where that story goes.
Yeah.
And then when it ends in the way that it does, it's just so frustrating.
Yeah, that's kind of the giant problem, like, the investment. Like, I bother giving investment to Emma, and I end up with that.
Yeah.
Like, Emma and Chase is, like, one of my least favorite, like, relationships in the entire series.
Yeah, like, it is definitely up there, like, probably only behind Scathe, and if you counted Cordera, for my least favorite. But yeah. I will say, though, unlike Chase, though, I did find Emma to be pretty consistently funny for the most part. Like, I liked her bantering with Bori. I liked how her irrational hate... not irrational at all. Just her hatred for Chase and her hangry attitude in, like, episode 10, I think, but with the pole balancing, like, that was legit funny. Like, talking about how if any floating water hallucinations come near me, I'm going to punch them. Or her saying to Julia, what's with your face eyes? Chase is going to fall off. Bring, it's pizza. Chase is going to get eliminated. And Julia was just like, you're so weird.
Yeah.
I guess I have. It's pretty much the inverse of Chase. Like with Chase, I found like he was written well for its role. I just didn't find him funny. While Emma, I had more problems writing Rise with, but I found her to be more consistently funny.
Yeah, I think that's probably like my thing too. I found Emma to be a pretty funny character when it's not involving Chase.
To be fair,
Basically.
if anything's not involving Chase, it's probably a good thing.
So yeah, my thoughts on Emma are like not little bit conflicted, but I guess I'm leaning towards on the like. But yeah, but with how her thing with Chase ends, it definitely sours my opinion on her.
I'm gonna need another season of her before I get a new opinion.
Yeah. All right, so moving on, the main villain, the bad Julia.
I did not expect, frankly, for this to be the villain, but
Oh my god.
definitely one of the better villains.
What
period.
do I saw with Julia? Let's see. I think, you know what? Might as well just be the Torn. When she fucking cusses out that dinosaur.
Yeah. In hindsight, honestly, wasn't the worst thing to do. Like, it was a velociraptor that was trying to maul her. Like, come on, people.
Yeah, like when she did that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna like this character now, because that was the best Torn I've seen in a while.
Whole like losing a bunch of followers initially, but then suddenly exploding with popularity after the internet sees the real her. Like, because that is the most on-brand Turtle Drama's been with its fans. We love Mean Girls, man, except Amy.
Yeah.
It's just because Amy was poorly written.
Yeah. But no, I really liked how, because it was very, and it didn't come out of nowhere either. It was very obvious that she was a phony, even with her whole all-loving, like nature-loving, living the moment kind of deal. Like, and she was pretty funny there too. But like, yeah, as soon when she goes full on, like Miss Cliff,
she goes masked off.
Oh yeah. And like I said before, I love her dynamic with Burry. They feel like the insults they fling at each other, the conflicts they get into, like her going in that frenzy when Burry said most of her followers were bots. That was great, and
that was the best.
Yeah, and honestly, like even though she was, a manipulative schemo, it balanced well with her being a ditzy airhead as well, like not knowing what selfless meant, for example, or doing the catapult thing. Like, it doesn't matter if you guys hate me. If I win this, you can't vote me off. And needlessly trying to go for like the 10,000 when just the 3,000 would have run them. And honestly, like, I did like how, like Bori, I did like some of the strategies, like how she needed to bounce around, like the alliance she got into with Priya and Millie, for example. Just like didn't like either of them, but she needed allies, especially against Bori, and there was a good reason on both sides for them to join up. And then later on, that alliance with Bori, that in the final four, where she's shown her athletics, that challenge, like, man. But how even after that, like, force a tie against, like, even if she, like, Priya did win, try and force a tie against Millie, which only backfired because, Bori backstabbed her, which an awesome moment. Yeah, and then Julia just drafting out contract to blackmail Bowie into giving him half the winnings in exchange for actually helping was so funny as well.
Yeah, like one thing I do like about Julia is that, like, I like how early on they sort of like build up MK as the main villain of the series of the season, but like then they pull a Uno reverse card.
Yeah, and I should we use that to transition into MK?
Is MK next on the list?
Actually, it's Millie before
I was about to say.
I comes before K. Yeah, that would have been a good transition for MK though.
Yeah,
that would have been a great
really
I mean, to be fair, her like full name is Mary Kate, so technically she's like alphabetically before.
Okay, it is. We are capitalizing on that transition.
No.
Okay, Millie.
We'll do Millie.
Well, do Millie.
Yeah,
Millie was a surprising character for me. Like, I definitely, like, if you asked me at the beginning of our watch through what I thought of Millie, I would have probably said that I thought she was fine, or that I would have liked her, but I don't think she would have like nearly been as like I don't think I would have nearly had as positive of an opinion of her as I probably do now.
Yeah,
'Cause,
no.
like she was a very dynamic character almost. Like it was always interesting to see where her story went from that point.
Yeah, like, cause her motivation of like using total drama to record stupidity of her generation for her thesis. Well, it's absolutely, it's arrogant and all that sort of thing. But like, it is accurate, and then using Priya initially as that little whole subject for her skull, and and the conflict within that because of how Priya's competitive attitude doesn't quite mess well with how Millie performs for the most part. And I did legit like how even before like the actual blow up, Millie started to realize her mistakes. Like she realized how it wasn't her place to make that published thesis about Priya and her family without their consent and throwing it away. And then how she full on admitted how she viewed herself as better than everyone else to her apology to Priya. I like that. Like she was like, I like how it's a seemingly like she's a usually nice girl, but she has those arrogance issues and all that. But it's fairly under the surface, and the show actually addresses that and has her learn from it.
Yeah, it's a very surprisingly well story that kind of just unfolds as the season progresses. It's probably like one of the better arcs that have been written in Total Drama.
And like, one thing I also liked about Millie was like, she was one of the like funniest characters. Was like something stupid would happen, and then like it would like cut to a confessional of her like just writing down shit in her fucking notebook.
I like how she was caught up in like got caught in the stupidity. Was rather a bit amazed about Ripper tying that around in the confessional before we was like, why am I amazed at that? And also like that moment with Paul and Priya doing like treating Julia and Bori's alliance opportunities as job applications was so good.
Yeah.
Like, thank you, we'll get back to you.
In the very last bit, while she kind of just realizes how much she liked Priya is like probably one of the best moments.
It's very natural, which is weird for Total Drama.
Yeah.
Like,
honestly, like I feel like Total Drama has been incredibly spotty in regards to how they write female friendships, because like there were a lot of great ones, like Gwen and Lasana was like legit one of my favorites, but I feel like a lot of them, it feels like the way of female friendship is make them Katie and Sadie again, like with Beth and Lindsay, with Gwen and Courtney and All Stars. I was a little bit worried if they were going to do that here, but like no, like Priya and Millie, like they do get along, like, and they do squeeze over their friendship, but they could have several noticeable differences that have organic conflicts within them, and all that through that there's the moments of their bonding together is actually also shown through activities as well, rather than them just gushing over each other. And like the way it fell apart briefly due to Bori was legit really good. Like I guess one issue I did feel it was a little bit like felt a little bit rushed with the Priya's forgiveness, but like I feel like that's mostly on account of just timing for the episode. Like you got 20 something minutes to wrap it up.
Yeah, that was just one criticism I had, was that the conflict in the end did seem rushed, but yeah, it kind of just seemed like there just wasn't enough time to really get down and stop more organically.
If they had more contestants, that would have probably been more fleshed out, but...
Yeah, you mean more episodes?
I know what I said.
Why more contestants with that?
Because there would have been more episodes.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. No,
I know what I said. It makes sense.
no, it does make sense. It does make sense. Yeah.
It's like I might be sleep deprived, but I know what I said.
Moving on from Millie, my girl MK. Like MK, like
I loved MK.
Yeah, MK is one of the best.
So good.
She's my top 5, maybe top 4, and like I swear, I totally understand, like, Ho being eliminated early necessary for Julia's arc, and it was a good arc, so, like, I can't complain too much, but, man, I hope she becomes main villain or something in season 2, because, like, what we saw, I loved this little shit.
Yeah, like, MK, like, if she does come back in the next season, like, becomes the main villain, she's gonna kick Julia's ass.
I don't even care about her being the main villain. I just want to see more MK, frankly.
Yeah.
Like, she's such a fun
Blue.
character.
Her sarcastic remarks are like almost always hit the mark for me, and I legit nearly squeak her over in episode 3, and she's like, sarcasm, my gift and my curse for her, because like her sarcasm rather than supporting herself, it was legit really good.
And she had a very like similar account to Noah in Total Drama Island, actually.
Yeah.
Like specifically Island Noah.
Yeah, but what I like how, because unlike Noah, who was like legit, like not even bothering out, I liked how MK was like trying to fly under the radar, like do good, like help out the team, but not look too good, to not look like a threat. That was a legit, really cool thing, and also like, I'm disappointed that she doesn't actually get to use it, but her downloading the confessionals into the storm from Julia to learn the secrets, yeah!
That was a
good.
choice. I wish that, like, I mean, it does play out at the end because of Bowie, but, like, I wish it was her that played it out.
Yeah. That
I
just had
wish.
such good potential.
I know. Yeah, like, MK is like the one that I'm most disappointed with didn't get far, but like, I understand it from a storyline perspective, but I don't know, you could have flipped her and chased around or something. Oh well.
Yeah,
no, I love it. I love MK. Like her lines were funny. Her scheme, her scheming was really interesting with the way she did it, and I liked how she contributed to Julia's arc, and maybe it's just a me thing with an aesthetic, but like I just love like sass, snarky little shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh no, absolutely. MK's great. I
Yeah.
can't wait for more of MK.
Oh, and like that episode where she like fucks with the competition is like, I don't know, like,
With the seals and to capture the skull. Right?
yeah.
Yeah, that was so good. Moving on from MK is Nissal. She is someone who existed.
Yeah, she's one of the more forgettable characters.
I didn't like her.
Like
The probably unfortunate thing was on what episode was she eliminated on?
episode 3, I think.
Okay, yeah. When
Either or.
episode 3 opened up with Nichelle talking about how she was this big old movie star, I kind of just knew, yeah, this is gonna end
The thing
Yeah.
was,
poorly.
it was already
It was already a bit
It was
foreshadowed in
already
episode 1.
Yeah, it was established that she was a movie star already, but like, I don't know, man. The whole thing just felt dumb.
Yeah, no,
It was-
like her going, I can't do this when her paper was simply blown by the wind. Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah.
And just everything about that. Like, I could understand, like, oh, you know, she's a big movie star, but like when it comes to actual challenges, she's worthless. I guess I could kind of see that, but like, just the amount of how it's played out is just bad.
That's
I
fair.
don't I don't know if I said Axel was my least favorite, but like if I did, I Axel's no. Nichelle was definitely the worst one because it was just so unneeded. It was so ham-fisted. It was so, I don't even know if I'd say forced, but it's forced. Like
The only thing
I
it
did not.
needed to do. Well, continue, please.
I just think like the character in because again I get it, action movie stars don't do their own stunts and whatever, but like you could have establishing that in the first episode would have been far better for her.
Well, I think they kind of did hint at that because, like, see, Seth explicitly calls out Nacelle for like not Roz, I mean Wayne being the one to pull all the weight when they were like doing the challenge, 3-legged challenge part together.
I don't think it was established well enough, though.
That's fair.
There was only one funny thing about Nichelle, and that was Jelly.
Very. Just that insane logic of how like it's Jerry's fault because he wasn't here for me. Like that got a chuckle out of me.
Yeah.
That was funny. But that's really all the show has, unfortunately.
Yeah. So moving on from Nacelle, we have are we going to do Roz and Dwayne together?
Actually, we
Well,
have
next
to
is
talk
Priya.
about Priya.
Hey, Priya, how
We have to talk about Priya first.
love her. Like I get like Bori, I think is the best, but Priya is my favorite. I feel like I really liked how like the background of her being raised from childhood by like let's be real, full on abusive parents.
Yeah.
Like and like but like she's working for her own aspirations, but she still loves her parents as well, which is why she was offended by Millie. And I think she did a really good job balancing out the whole nice girl and overly competitive nature. Like, because like she's friendly with Millie and Damien, and she's like willing to stand up for people. But like when stuff like Millie had not taking challenges seriously, or Millie getting the immunity from the first murder despite Priya doing all the work and the like, but she has that more subdued. She doesn't go blowing up on it. She's like upset, but she doesn't go completely Courtney level fury kind of thing. Like I felt like that was it was a really good balance of the two of those sides of her. And I just really likes how her energetic attitudes and her dynamics with Millie, Damien, Ripper, Julia. Like she's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Priya was a very interesting and well-balanced character, which is surprising considering her background. She doesn't. She has one of probably my favorite traits of like really good total drama contestants, where they definitely are a stereotype. I mean, every character in total drama is a stereotype of some sort, but it doesn't feel like that is the only note that she plays. Like, you look at the really, really good total drama characters. You look at someone like Duncan, like, yeah, he's a delinquent, but he's got well more than enough more than enough dimensions to his character to really make him feel like a person, like an actual character.
Or Gwen, for example, like she's a goth girl, but like that barely plays into how she acts.
Yeah. That's kind of how Priya is for me. It's like she's this girl that grew up with very obsessive parents that wanted her to grow up to win total drama, which fine. I think that could actually I thought that was like a very interesting dynamic, but it was also one of those kind of dynamics that would have been ridiculously easy to just kind of like one note, and I'm glad that they didn't. I'm really glad that they didn't.
So interesting in that regard.
Yeah, because she's a very like intricate character for total drama, and I think that those usually make for the best ones, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say though, like, while I would love Priya, like something I do hope we get to see more of in season 2. Like, I hope she has an arc where she gets out of her like parents' sayings or in season 2. Because like at the end of it, I feel like there would have been time for that in this season with the whole Millie friendship arc and the like. But for hopefully in season 2, because like so the fact that she's like still, because I have seen some criticisms of this with her ending, which is fair, about how it's basically how implication how her parents' abuse was correct, essentially. Which I could somewhat see.
I don't see correct. I don't see correct because they definitely, by all accounts, groomed her into being like a superstar in total drama, right?
Yeah.
There's no getting around that. But I don't think it's supposed to be like framed as correct because she doesn't want to do that at the end.
She wants to go. Yeah, she's doing it to go into med school.
Yeah, and so it's not like they're correct in doing so. They're still assholes. They're still bad parents and stuff like that. But it's just like this is what she knows. This is what she knows best. And unfortunately, she's placed into a situation where if she doesn't win, she might not get to break out of that shell.
Yeah, that's
so,
that's fair.
So that's, I don't know. That's kind of where I feel on it. I don't feel like saying her parents' abuse is correct. Like, they're abusive parents, and they're fucking awful.
Yeah.
Just on the basis, like, if you've seen what, like, this kind of parenting can do to someone, have you ever seen the Honey Boo Boo show? Good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
It's like, if you guys thought Sugar was a good example of Honey Boo Boo, no, Priya is a much better example of what that does to a kid.
Actually, this is semi-related to Priya, but, like, I like how, I'm just now realizing that Priya is an actual name, and, like, there was, like, 2 consecutive years with a character with the name Priya.
So, yeah, you guys asked earlier if we were doing Raj and Wayne separate or together. I think we should do them separate.
Yeah, I think we could do them separate, too, because Raj does have
Raj has
going for himself other than being connected to Wayne.
Wayne actually has a couple of moments on his own, too, that we're probably not acknowledging, too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. So, yeah, we'll start with Raj. Like, second gay character, and, like, I
like Raj. Raj is good.
Yeah, Raj is wholesome.
Raj is a good bean.
Yeah, he has a good dynamic with both Bowie and especially Rain and all that. And yeah, no, like him realizing that he was gay was nice, and like it was built up fairly well for the most part. Like I think it's on like episode 2, maybe 3.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And his dynamic again with Wayne is just so much fun. Like how they'll hockey talk, they're bizarre but somehow practical plans for the most part. So they're slightly competitive attitude, but still being really friendly guys overall.
Yeah, they're just overall like they're what Jeff and Brody was trying to do, but way better.
I mean, I like Jeff and Brody.
Don't get me wrong. I like Jeff and Brody, but these two do it better.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like I enjoy Jeff and Brody. I think Jeff and Brody were fucking homies. They were great. I really appreciated them. But like, Brody kind of didn't really have much.
Yeah. Brody didn't really have anything without Jeff. Like other than his crush on MacArthur, yeah.
Whereas Raj and Wayne both feel like their own characters, and I think, you can have one without the other.
One thing that would be interesting for season 2 would be if one was eliminated and the other had to continue.
Or they were on separate teams.
Yeah.
That too.
Something Katie and Sadie could have took opportunity of, but
yeah. Basically.
Yeah, they just had to bitch, and then boom, they're on the same team now.
Yeah, and then Sadie has like one episode of relevance after Katie's elimination, and it's just like complete background character, everything else. Yeah, no, like that Roz was fun. As was I get we'll get to Wayne. Yeah.
We'll get to Wayne, but Wayne's also fun.
Next
spoilers.
On Wayne.
Next is probably the most polarizing character, other than maybe Chase, Ripper.
Ugh.
I don't know how to feel about that boy.
Yeah, it's weird for me. Like, I think he had some funny moments, and I did legit like his conflicts, like with actual Priya and to a lesser extent Scary Girl, but like the whole bully thing, him being a bully thing, it was fine at some points. Like, it's very important to let people know they're nerds. That was funny, and using Priya as a human shield. That was pretty funny, but like, but for the most part, yeah, he was fairly repetitive, and also like, his fault jokes got old fast.
Yeah, I don't dislike Ripper. I'm very indifferent about him. Like, I don't think he was bad. I think, as you said, he did have a lot of really good moments, really good conflicts and stuff like that. I would say the fart jokes were overplayed, but please, we had Owen for 3 seasons?
Yeah.
I guess the thing with Owen, I felt. Go on.
Well, Owen, the thing with Owen versus Ripper is Owen had more to his character than Ripper does, whereas Ripper was just kind of a dumb bully character. Yeah. And it's like I guess we had to get this trope one day or another. I don't know, it's just kind of played out.
I do kind of admire the fact that he was kind of sort of like Sam in the sense, and the fact that he didn't really care if he got eliminated. He just cared about staying in for a short bit. But for different reasons, of course. But
yeah, honestly, me, Ripper peaked comedy-wise in his introduction tape when he said to the bus driver, "If you know that pooping in someone's purse is a crime," the bus driver closed his eyes in some disgust. That was great.
Yeah.
As I say, Ripper had moments. I don't know. I feel like the trope was played out.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's felt.
On the note of tropes being played out,
Scary Girl.
My favorite character.
I absolutely I can understand the viewpoint of those who don't like her, and to an extent I do agree with it, about how played out and how fairly one note. But goddamn, just the absurdity it goes to at times.
She's hilarious. But here's my thing. Out of all of the quote weird girls in all of Total Drama, she is the weakest one.
Yeah, okay, she's better than Ella.
No, because Ella was a character. Ella had moments with the other contestants that felt there was some form of chemistry. There was there was actual relationships being built between Ella and other characters. Now, Ella's fine. Scary Girl is just, she's scary. And don't get me wrong, again, she's hilarious. Every moment she was on screen, she was fucking great.
Yeah.
But as a character, she's so weak.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about Scary Girl. She wasn't gonna have a lot other than being scary.
She doesn't even have a name. She's just Scary Girl.
Actually,
Lauren.
Yeah, her name's Lauren.
Okay, well, they never go by Lauren. It's just Scary Girl.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they mostly call Scary Girl. She's only called Lauren in when coming on. But for me though, I feel just in the sense of what her role as super comic relief with what she had to offer, it was just she just did such a great job at that, and I felt like just how she had that slight edge to her to help her stand out from the likes of, say, Izzy or Dawn with her weirdness, how, like, legit distorting the reality camera thing when talking about how she gets carried away sometimes, or her mood swings, like.
Oh, again, I'm not saying that she's not funny. She's an amazing joke character, but she's also a joke character.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I guess just for me, like, as a joke character, that she just does that role so well, so it just helps her. So yeah, but yeah, no, I totally get that.
Yeah, I'll say this, like, I'm just gonna say this right now, Scary Girl is my favorite character of the season, and, like, for one, goth is my aesthetic, so of course, and second, like, she's an absolute, like, beast at the challenges. Like, I don't know what it is with, like, whole drama and, like, making the goth characters specifically, like, beasts and challenges. Like, we had Gwen and we had the goths and Redunculous race, but, like, I don't know why they, like, make them, like, so strong, but, like,
also OP until the drama.
Yeah.
I just wish she had more oomph to her, I guess.
That's fair. Also, that said, like, to anybody who says that Scary Girl's elimination was unfair, you are dumb. You are.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was kind of just
like, it isn't
the best time for her to go.
Like, it wasn't unfair, but I wish she lasted longer.
Yeah, totally valid. But, like, no, I have legit seen people say that it was unfair or that she was rigged off, and I'm just like, what is wrong with you people? She cost her team the game and tried to murder a teammate.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I don't know. I guess we can move on to Wayne now.
Wayne is so good.
I do like that subtle implication how he's the more competent one out of him and Rod. Like, how he's the captain of the pirate ship and comes up with the winning strategy. Or his performance in the three-legged race person where he was carrying Nacelle.
Yeah. Wayne is, like, strangely competent, and I think that's a really, like, I do think that's an important thing to note as a distinction between him and Raj. This is why I said we should probably have separated them when we're talking about them. Because, yeah, Wayne is a very interesting character on his own, but a lot of his interesting moments are very subtle. Whereas Raj's are very explicit.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very interesting contrast between the two of them. It's like you like to bring up Katie and Sadie with these two, like in comparison to these two. And that's, I think, a pretty good comparison because Katie and Sadie, there was nothing to really contrast the two. Like, it was just, we have two of the same character here, which is a huge missed opportunity because after Sadie was alone, we could see more of her character start to develop, but it didn't really go much further than just the friend of Katie. Which, yeah, I do agree. It's just a huge missed opportunity. Those two really need another season.
As long as they stop doing the E.
I don't care about the E. Whatever. They can squeal all they want. But, like, yeah, I do think I have one criticism of Wayne. And at the time when we were watching it, I was all for it, but I do feel like it maybe came on a little too hard when it came to the allyship.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, we appreciate an ally. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I didn't appreciate that. But the constant trying to push his friend out as gay.
Yeah.
Little cringe in hindsight. I was all for it at the time because I was just kind of in the emotion, like in the moment. But, like, no, it's a little cringe.
But, like, at the very least, like, the most he was trying to do, it was like stuff like want something to tell us and was leaving it to Rods there. Like, at the very least, Yeah, at the very least, like the worst things that he was doing was just trying to get Rods to say it, but he wasn't being any passive aggressive or getting offended or something I was so worried about was if it would legit fracture their friendship, and I was like, but no, it didn't. Rod was just hoping Wayne was just hoping Rod would tell something like that to his best friend, and eventually, over time, Rod did that.
It was just a little over enthusiastic.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a problem. I would argue it's a little problematic just how much he was trying to kind of egg it out of him. But like at the end of the day, like if that's his worst, if that is his worst sin, I think he's a pretty fine character.
Yeah. Last but not least, Stoner Boy Z.
Yeah.
Yo, Z was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, top 5 easily.
Absolutely.
I like how they not only put him in as like I think the first actual like disabled character, right?
Yeah, because
first
like
character with like a disability, right?
Yeah, the prosthetic leg.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
That on its own is really interesting. I guess unless you want to count Mike, because Mike had the multiple personality thing. But admittedly, looking back on it, Mike's multiple personality thing a little problematic. But
yeah,
that's another conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, with Z's thing, it's just he's just physically disabled. Like he's just got a funky leg, and it actually comes into play numerous times throughout the season.
Yeah, like
I think that's really cool.
Challenge in episode 6, where he loses the leg to get. I think someone pointed out, like Millie or Julia, how that is not how physics works. But it's...
Yeah.
I think Z was a really cool character because they did something kind of I would say kind of daring, definitely not something you would expect in a show like Survivor, right? I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of Survivor myself, but I like when I think these types of reality shows, when I think these kind of survival shows and stuff like that, I don't usually think it'd be very accessible to a character like that, to a person like that. So I don't really see it as something that would happen too super often. And so I think it was a very interesting, like, yeah, what if kind of scenario where they just kind of threw in Z, like there, like that. I think they played it really well.
Yeah. Now, Z's elimination. Now, that is something that people say is unfair, which I can kind of agree. That's a whole unfair thing that I kind of agree with. But goddamn, it was hilarious. Like Z was like both like him being part of both of the alliances within the competition at the time, and both Priya and Boy thinking that he's just pretending to be Steven to throw the other one off guard. But then his asinine plan of how I secretly merged the both alliances into one, so we'll all be together, and we're going to vote Chris off. And then Bowie simply raises his hand and says, "Chris, may I revote?"
I don't think they should have had the revote. I think we probably should have had the payoff to Z doing that. I think that would have been nice, but it was fine.
The payoff, like his plan. I mean, the payoff. It was I don't think he voted for nobody. So like it would have been a tiebreaker between Priya and Bowie, I think.
I'm wondering, like, because if they didn't give the revote, right? How would it affected Z in the next episode? In the upcoming episode? We don't get a chance to see that. And I feel like that would have been nice. But I also would agree if someone said that it wasn't exactly needed.
Yeah.
Either way, Z is a fucking hilarious character. He's a great character. I had easily some of the better moments in like the entire fucking season.
Absolutely. Like so many funny moments with Z.
It's hard for me to put I think for my top 5, like Priya, Boy, and Julia are the top 3 easily, but for 4 and 5 and 6, like it is so tough for MK, Scary Girl, and Z for which one gets in my top 5 and which one is left out. Yeah, no, like I know, like legit, this was a banger of a cast. Like the only ones who I felt like were rudely like full on like duds, I guess, were Axel and Nacelle. Because like I don't like Chase, but he did his role well enough, really well. Like, we are supposed to hate him, and like he does that in that's how he well. Caleb was father to show off Bowie's manipulative skills, and since he didn't do anything wrong, it was a legit shocking moment there. Whippo, mixed bag, but like he had a ton of funny moments and great dynamics, and actually helped even Axel, honestly, because like she was simple, like nothing too special, but she had a good dynamic with Ripple and some really good, strong humor, like how she did nothing wrong when talking about everything wrong she did, or the whole scroll thing. So honestly, Nacelle was the only real odd of a character within this cast.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
So, what do we talk about after the characters? Because you guys have already done this before. I don't know the format here.
Yeah, before, I think we did like pros and cons. So we already went over the pros with the characters. So I guess should we talk about the cons of the season?
I think the farting
episode was weak.
Yeah, that one definitely needs to be brought up. This is probably more of a nitpick, but if you're someone that watched the previous seasons, you'd probably like watch a few episodes and just be like, "Oh, we're doing the big sleep again," or "Oh, we're doing lunch of disgustingness again."
You guys heard me every time a new an old challenge came back up. You would hear me during our watching session just go, "Oh, so we're doing this again." But honestly, I would argue, as much as I kind of went on about it, I would argue it's not necessarily a problem, because you can only do so many. You can only do so many challenges before you start repeating ideas.
Plus, like, other than, I guess, Bunch of Disgustingness, like, did a bit of the say up, since, like, it's a free-for-all thing kind of does, and the big sleep variation was about hunger and bouncing on the board. Like, for the most part, if it's a whole here we go again thing, there's enough different variations with it to make it feel a little fresh.
Yeah.
So I'm also going to pick. Because, someone might. But I think it's, like, fine if they would be a few things as long as there's enough variation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as far as, like, the cons of the seasons, it's like, as I said, the farting episode was weak. I would honestly say the Bunch of Disgustingness was also pretty weak, frankly. I think that episode was not great.
The only funny thing was Z being afraid of milk.
Yeah, that was a thing, huh?
Yeah. I also feel about like a lot of the eliminations this episode. I feel like they didn't have that much gravitas towards them compared to like a lot of the original.
Yeah, I didn't feel like there was a lot of weight behind the eliminations. Not helped by how they were eliminated. Like the fucking drone thing was just kind of. Yeah, it was there, I guess. It was there, and then it wasn't. Shrug.
Yeah.
Then, we had, like, obviously the dynamic between fucking Chase and Emma.
Yeah.
I would probably say, a couple, storylines definitely could have been, like, fully fleshed out and complete, but again, that comes to, I guess, a much more underlying problem with this season being that it's
13
short.
episodes. Yeah, 13 episodes with 16 characters.
Yeah, and the pacing can be a little bit pretty quick at points.
Yeah.
The thing that makes Total Drama Island and World Tour the seasons that they were, I'm not gonna say action because personally I don't like action. That's a hot take, but that's a story that's a conversation for another day. But the thing that makes World Tour and Island the seasons that that we know and that they are, is the fact that it was like it had a bigger cast, but it also had more time to flesh out storylines for certain characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why was it Rhodey, Takatu, All Stars, stuff like that. The reason that those don't feel as strong as seasons is because of the short cast. The season feels a lot shorter, so everything kind of has to be done at a rapid pace. And I don't necessarily blame the writers for that. I feel like if they were able to get away with it, they probably would have had a bigger cast for more time. But at the end of the day, that does become a problem with these shorter season total dramas.
Yeah, I guess this is more so like this is more so about because in Ireland, how even accent to an extent, and of course, and also like we see stuff like moments where people spend their downtime with each other outside of towns until we do get that in the reboot, but like much less frequently. Like we only really get that with Priya and Millie, like Rain and Rods, obviously, but they're a package deal either way, and to a lesser extent, Emma and Bowie. I feel like it doesn't quite have that same sense of this community who knows each other and just be doing these stuff to get kind of jazzed.
Yeah, that's something I was gonna bring up. They definitely don't have enough time to do the whole pre-challenge interactions and all that. And I if they had a longer season, I bet they would have. But personally, that's pretty much the only problem I have structure-wise with the season. I don't know. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
I think a particular thing appealing about the level-click pacing is probably the finale. The fact that
the finale is pretty weak in hindsight.
Leah were all together at the start. That was kind of a odd decision.
Yeah, I'm fine with that because first half of the finale when Millie was still there, that was really good there for the most part. But after Millie's elimination from that, and then the apology scene that, like I said, felt fairly well, as mentioned before. But then when it was just Priya and Bowie, man, that felt incredibly well. It was it was still a competition, of course, but Priya and Bowie pretty much don't get to play off each other at all for the rest of the finale challenge, and once they both reached the top with the whole milking scene and rolling down the hill to the finish line, I felt like that was what, 2 minutes?
Yeah, that was basically just packaged into 4 minutes of shit.
Dude, actually, you know what? You want to know one dynamic I wish was expanded upon a little bit more?
What?
Millie and Damien.
Yeah.
The two nerds. It was weird how they called Priya the nerd alongside Millie when it was really Damien.
Yeah, Damien and Millie would have made for, I think, a really fun dynamic. But again, it just keeps coming back. Really, season 2 short. Give us more.
but for pros, we already went about how good the cast was, and the challenges were really fun. I felt like there was a surprisingly amount of good variety and strategy within the challenges, the sip one where they shoot cabbages at each other to sink their ships.
I like how fucking Z pulled the whole Little Mermaid.
Well, he tried to, but then he closed his eyes to see nothing.
Yeah.
And I felt like this was probably the most strategic season since World Tour.
I could see that.
Yeah, I definitely say this is up there in the better seasons for me.
Yeah, rankings wise, it's probably it's probably there around first, I guess here's my hot take. Like, World Tour is pretty middle in the road for me. Like, I mean, I still love it, but like not as much as Island, Ridiculous Race, or Revenge, because I felt like its first half was way too formulaic and slow. But that's another discussion. But like for me, like yeah. Reboot is like just a little bit below World Tour and Revenge of the Island for me. So like I guess like it being above, Axon and of course All Stars and Park 2, but like being above All Stars and Park 2 isn't much. but yeah, no, like I felt like it is legit really good content, good up there for being on par with Revenge and World Tour for me. And if it was just a bit more ironed out with some of its pacing, it probably could have been in my top 3 favorite seasons. But for what we got, though, I legit really liked it.
Yeah, like my top 3 would probably be like, if we're counting like spinoffs here, like Ridiculous Race is number 1, Island is number 2.
Yeah.
For 3, you know what? Fuck it. I'm putting this season at like number 3. Like,
nice.
Yeah, like
it's a pretty up there season.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah, like with World Tour is like under it a little, and like under that is Pocket Tail, but like yeah, that would be dwelling into the top 4 and top 5. But like yeah, like I really enjoyed this season. It was like really fun, and like it definitely gave us like a lot of like great characters, and yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I know me and Slayer already said our favorite characters in the reboot. Doodle, Slayer, not Slayer, Doodle, Stag. Who are your favorite characters?
Huh. That's actually a really hard question.
I'm definitely just gonna tell you that I was off of Mean Girl Julia.
Mine's either gonna come down to either Z, MK, or Julia. Or no, wait. No, Z, MK, or Bowie.
Yeah, I mean, Priya, Bowie, and Julia.
Yeah, it's gonna that's what it would be for me. It would be one of those 3.
Yeah.
Julia's up there. Julia's very, very up there, but I don't know if I like her more than I like Bowie.
Oh yeah, no, I like
up there because I had the most laughs with her. I like a lot of the characters like Bowie and Playa.
Oh no, this
Julia was just my favorite.
Yeah, this whole cast was great, and Axel, and and Nichelle.
This cast is like and Axel and Nichelle.
Yeah, basically, this cast is great, and Axel and Nichelle.
And Ripper.
But like, look at
Ripper.
Ripper
Ripper at least had his moments, and I guess Axel had one moment, and Nichelle had one moment.
I can tolerate Ripper only because if he had worse writing, I'd probably hate him. But I thought he was just okay.
Ripper at most was fine. Like I was not super big on. As I said, I was not super big on the trope, but like, it's fine. It's whatever. It was gonna happen one way or another.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Overall, cast was pretty good.
Yeah.
Challenges were, even if they were repeated, they were like different enough to stand out. Storylines were fleshed out enough, or at least fleshed out as much as you possibly fucking could in such a short season.
Yeah.
Just more.
Yeah.
And my top 2 characters were the final 2, so I'm winner.
My top 2 weren't even close to the final 2. Those being Scary Girl and MK.
Yeah. No, I legit, like, I feel like I probably would have, MK probably would have been my favorite, or even how, like, if she lasted longer, but, like, yeah, she just didn't, like, we don't actually get to see what she was going to do with that downloading thing, so unfortunately, yeah. But overall,
I mean,
yeah.
you're also, I guess in fairness to me, for putting MK in my top 3, you're also talking to the person who unironically says that Beardo would have been a really good character.
Yeah, no.
Look, I'm just saying, if you watch his audition tape, he just says that he needs time to learn about people, and he doesn't get that time.
Yeah, no, I
for
agree with that, but that's also the problem, since we don't actually get to see any of that pay off or even develop within the competition itself. Yeah.
I'm so screaming justice for Beardo.
Yeah, justice for Beardo.
Naruto has like some of the best track record for portrayals and fanfics for that, because they actually do stuff with him wanting to his sinus and trying to be freaking opened up, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like, and to this day, like, he is the only total drama character to have one episode to his name. Even like Caleb got more episodes, only by one, but still.
Yeah, it's like Beardo. Honestly, Beardo and B, I feel, are both characters that needed more.
Yeah, but at least B got to do stuff.
Beardo and B, very underutilized characters. They were robbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Thanks a lot, Scott.
I mean, look, like, I still love Revenge of the Iron Scott, but like, yeah, it is the same. Like, it's like him getting the end eliminated is part of why I do love him. It's always his unique skin, like unique villain role. But like, yeah, it also meant we couldn't get more of those two, who are some of the most interesting characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like overall, yeah, angle of the season. I guess, are we done?
Actually,
I don't know.
Like, I was thinking, like, since we are pretty much confirmed to, like, have the same cast for, like, another season, we could probably, like, talk about our, like, predictions for the next season.
All right. So yeah, here's, I guess, I guess one of my predictions, I do, like, even beyond what I outright hope for, I do predict Damien is going to get a lot further in the next season. I'm hoping the same for MK, but I can't be. But like you know, not quite as.
I feel like it'll come down to Z will be eliminated a lot sooner. MK is probably going to have some sort of character development.
Yeah.
Julia, since her story has kind of ran its course, I feel like she's going to get eliminated earlier.
Yeah, probably like the same with how Heather was eliminated, like halfway in action.
Yeah. I'm going to make a prediction also that Chase and Emma, or maybe just Chase, maybe Emma will make it far enough, but like Chase will get eliminated much sooner, because like nobody likes him except Emma now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do hope to see more from Caleb.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you
think... Just on the basis that he didn't get a chance to show.
I mean, literally. Imagine if he gets forced twice in a row.
Oh, he just gets the Ezekiel treatment?
Oh, God.
Fucking Pharaoh Caleb.
That would be justice for Caleb at that point, then.
Yeah.
And, I'll be fine if Scary Girl stays the same, but I would also be fine with her getting some, like, more depth to her either way. Like, I want more depth.
I want more depth for Scary Girl. We don't know shit all about her as a character.
Yeah, like I was thinking, like, this might be in, like, an out there prediction, but, like, I am sort of thinking she might, like, maybe try and be a villain if they're going to, you know, go that far, because, like, it would be hilarious, like, if they tied that whole, like, demonic, like, threat towards the other contestants, like, from her elimination, and, like, they tied that into her actually being a villain, so, like, it's possible, but, like, I don't know.
How far do we think Priya would go?
Priya, yeah, I don't think Priya's gonna make it to the end. I do see Priya maybe lasting it out a little bit longer.
Yeah. I think I see Priya making merge, but like I don't think if she does, she's probably going to be an early merge elimination.
Yeah, it's pretty much an unspoken rule that like the same like person can't win the total drama season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Millie, on the other hand, I don't see Millie.
I don't see Millie making it far.
Yeah.
Well, alternatively, like alternate timeline, Millie could wind up being second season's Beth, for all we know.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Ripper is kind of a wild card, really.
Ripper could wind up either being a Scott or I guess whatever the antithesis of Scott would have been.
Lightning?
I guess, yeah, because Lightning was pretty annoying in his second season. Although I found him to be annoying regardless. Lightning I just don't like as a character.
The Lightning Ripper.
I just generally didn't like Lightning as a character. I found him just super annoying. But like, yeah, Ripper could either be a Scott or a Lightning. I don't really know where else to go with him.
And rankings rise, yeah, like he could legit go anywhere because like, he lasted surprisingly pretty far in this season.
How far do we think Wayne, Raj, and Bowie would go?
I can see Bowie making it far a second time. Not finalist, obviously, but maybe final 5. Wayne and Raj, I think I feel like they'll probably go be eliminated separately. Like
the reason I bring this up, right, is because like we've already established the relationship between Raj and Bowie, and after the competition, odds are they become more of a thing. And since Raj and Wayne are best friends, I could see Bowie making like a whole fucking 3-person alliance out of it and taking it pretty far.
It's true. Here's something that I could also legit could all with Wayne and Raj. Like again, like Wayne and Raj are placed on separate teams, and like obviously like it won't fracture their friendship or anything, but it will have both of them feel very different and might throw one of them off of it since they've always been together, but they do learn to adapt to it, or at least one of them does, and form their own different dynamics.
See them probably making a competitive sport out of it, maybe.
Yeah. Now, I do not see Nacelle making it far. I see was an Reboot here as well, but I do not see anything to do with her for the next season.
Yeah.
If next season, I frankly, I just want her gone ASAP. I don't care. I just don't care.
It would not surprise.
The second season is gonna be just like, you know what? Let's reboot action this time. Maybe she could get something, but no, I don't see that.
No, I just don't. Michelle, just go. Fucking be the Chase of next season. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Awful character.
Yeah, it would not surprise me if next season she was the first boot.
We haven't talked about Z, have we?
I said Z is probably gonna wind up getting thrown out really early. He might get 1 or 2 challenges in, but I don't expect him to last super long. Maybe because everyone already knows he's kind of an idiot at this point.
Yeah.
But it is possible he just wins them over with his friendly nature, though. Like Owen.
Possible. Not a non-zero chance.
Yeah, Axel, I can see making it decently far. I hope they give her more traits beyond just Dog Eva mixed her though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much I fully care about Axel either. I mean, if she goes farther, maybe she could get more of a development, and maybe I'd give more of a fuck about her. But shrug. I mean, if anything, I could see her maybe lasting about as long as Joe did in Rhodey.
Maybe, yeah. And again, Team Final 2, MK Damien.
That's definitely what we would hope for. I don't think... Who would I expect to be the final 2? Because Damien and MK would be great. I would love that. I would adore that. That would be an amazing final 2. But, realistically, I don't see it.
Realistically, you wouldn't see Beth and Duncan for a final 2, would you?
It's true. I also realistically wouldn't have seen Owen making it as far as he did. He fucking won, canonically.
Yeah, only canonical winner, really. Everyone else, it's like we let you, the fans, decide thing. But like Owen's ending actually gets alluded to in other seasons. So like,
Yeah, so, like, I don't know. I guess it theoretically could happen. I'd probably see more. Dude, what if it's Wayne and Raj final?
that would be weird.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I
I don't know. Realistically, though, I see maybe. Well, Julia didn't make it to the final two, so she'd probably make it to the final two in the next season.
Yeah, like if it's not MK, it's probably Julia.
Yeah.
It's
it is
no, it's
possible.
I feel realistically it could be Julia and maybe some other character. I don't know who Julia's foil would be because it can't be Bowie.
I guess it could. I guess potentially it could be like someone like Millie, but like I don't think they'll have two people who are both in super far out be the finalists in the next season immediately after. So
Yeah.
Could potentially just be either. It could be MK since
Zeke could be that foil for Julia.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? Because it's like Damien and MK. I would, as I said, I would love for them to be the final two. I think that would be a really interesting final two. But frankly, I don't see Damien lasting all the way through. I mean, I could see him definitely getting pretty far, but I don't see him lasting all the way through, just because like Damien kind of doesn't like as a character doesn't really allow for that. MK, I don't know. Noah got pretty far throughout like his seasons outside of the first one, so I maybe, but like I don't know if I fully see MK either.
Yeah, like it's not like
I
completely.
feel like it's much. I feel like it's much more realistic to see Julia and like one other character. And honestly, I don't think I'd prefer that because Julia has kind of already had her moment. Like she's already had her story arc and stuff like that. And I don't really see what more you can do with her as a character, but like
It would definitely depend on where the writing goes.
yeah, unless Caleb and Scary Girl really pick up that slack for antagonist roles, I don't really know what else we could wind up getting.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, it's why I think MK will get far. There isn't much for new antagonists you can do with the remaining cast. Like Scary Girl, yeah, she's definitely immoral enough, but you would have to add so much for her to be a truly, full-on villain for the strategic drama. And Caleb, I mean.
Yeah,
Caleb, he is.
we don't.
You can.
We don't know anything about Caleb. We know nothing about Caleb. He is a blank slate.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I guess in a sense that actually makes Caleb one of the easiest ones to write as a villain, since there's nothing to him at the moment.
Yeah,
I guess
so
we could.
unless
They could also up Whipple if they really wanted to.
oh yeah, no, Ripper actually could be an antagonist too. It is true.
Yeah.
The point is there's a few characters that could pick up that antagonist role, but I don't know who else like you would really have. I don't know. It's kind of really hard to make predictions like that because we don't really know what the writing would be like.
Yeah.
For all we know, they might just throw us a curveball and add in like 2 new characters.
I
Plot
feel like
twist
if they
is
were to,
the
I feel like if they were to do that, they would have established it in like the ending of here. Since like in World Tour, they had the TDA special to set up Alejandro and Sierra first. Here's another thing though. Do you think it's going to be on the island again or in a new setting?
It's probably gonna be on the island again.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too, honestly.
It's a crapshoot, really. I don't know. It's kind of a crapshoot. It could be the island again. It could be entirely different. Like, cause I mean, they've used the island what
4
4
times.
times if we want to
Yeah.
count. Yeah, I was about to say 4 times if we want to count Pocket 2.
No, 4 times without like Island, Revenge of the Island, All Stars, and now this season.
Right, All Stars was okay. Right, 'cause All Stars was what sank the island. Right. I forgot. I forgot.
That's fail. That is fail.
If they're going to like put it in a different place, like I don't know what they would specifically do. Yeah, it just depends on like how creative like the writers are. Like, who knows? Maybe the next season could be in space for all we fucking know.
Total drama in space.
In space.
I don't see that, but
Yeah.
All I'll say is, if they have it be on like a cruise ship sailing from destination to destination, like Seafaring World Tour, I demand royalties because I came up with that first in my fanfic. Thank you very much.
And then like just the finale just like ends with the fucking iceberg.
you know something that I actually came to mind though, like this takes place like 15 years later. But, like, we see Rock and Spud cameo in episode 3. They haven't aged a day, man.
wait, did we?
Yeah, Rock and Spud, in one of Michelle's movie scenes, in that airplane, Rock and Spud were there in the background as freaking passengers.
I did not notice that.
My boys are movie stars. I mean, I'm not that big a fan of Rock and Spud, but, like, I enjoy them.
Yeah, honestly, Rock and Spud are, like, probably one of my favorite teams from Redonkulous Race, though I will say that's not saying much because I love pretty much, like, almost every team from Redonkulous Race, with only a few exceptions.
Yeah, no, like, guess, you know what, I guess that's the end of the podcast. I don't think we have anything else to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably the end of it.
Oh yeah, like I'm glad we all had this time to talk, and I get if this goes up on whoever's YouTube channel, if this is a Cloud Palace podcast, then hopefully there will be more of these. And if this isn't a Cloud Palace podcast, and it's just on Slayer's channel, or if it's just not something that goes up, then I can just say whatever I want.
All right, time to start spelling slurs.
Oh my goodness.
And I guess as a way to end this recording off, the viewer listening to this right now, you've just been sent to the dock of shame.